Beloved soul, chosen one. What if I told you? You didn't just find this video, it found you. And what if I told you, you were meant to watch this? Not by chance, but by design. There are millions of videos you could have clicked, yet somehow, this one drew you in. Somehow, your path brought you right here, right now. That's not a coincidence, that's a moment of alignment. This message was created for someone who has been asking for a shift, a sign, a push. If you've been feeling like something inside you has been stirring, quietly whispering, that there's more to your life than what you've been living. You're not imagining things. This is real, and what you're about to hear might just change everything. You might not be able to see the change yet, but you've already started moving in a new direction by simply being here. You've said yes to something greater. You've said yes to your inner voice, the one that doesn't shout but nudges, the one that doesn't rush but reveals. And that voice brought you here for a reason. It knew you were ready. Maybe not perfectly ready. Maybe not with all the answers, but ready enough to listen, enough to consider, enough to start, because the truth is nobody ever feels fully prepared for the life they were meant to live. We don't step into greatness with guarantees. We step into it with belief. Even if it's just a small flicker at first dot. And that flicker, that spark, it's been inside you all along. It's the reason you've kept going. Through days when everything felt heavy, it's the reason you've survived things that should have broken you. It's the reason you still dream, even after all the disappointment. That spark is your reminder that you haven't given up, not truly. You're still holding on, still reaching for more, and that alone makes you powerful. But power is useless unless you remember how to use it. You see, most people go through life asleep. They move through their days, reacting to everything around them, never realizing they have the ability to shift their entire reality. Not by luck, not by chance, but by intention. You don't need to wait for everything to align before you act. That's the lie. The real secret is this. You create alignment by acting. When you choose to believe in your ability to shift your circumstances, even when there's no visible proof, you start creating something new, something magnetic, something unstoppable. And the universe, it responds to that. It mirrors what you believe. That's why people who expect good things seem to always attract them, not because they're lucky, but because they've trained their minds to look for opportunity instead of obstacles. They've conditioned their hearts to feel abundance instead of lack, and over time, the inner world reshapes the outer one. You can do the same. You already have everything within you. It's just waiting to be activated. Maybe you've tried before. Maybe you've started and stopped, built momentum and lost it. That's okay. That's part of the process. Growth is never linear. What matters most is that you keep choosing to rise again and again. Because every time you try again, you become more powerful, you become more aware, more tuned in, and awareness. That's everything. Once you start noticing your thoughts, your patterns, your triggers, you gain control. You start responding instead of reacting. You start choosing instead of chasing. That's when life starts to feel less chaotic. That's when things begin to click. You may not realize it yet, but you're already shifting. Your energy is different. Your curiosity led you here, and now your awareness is expanding. That's not small. That's massive. And even if no one else sees it, feels it, or applauds it, you should. Because doing the inner work, the invisible work, is often the hardest, but it's also the most important. It's what lays the foundation for everything else. It's funny how we're taught to seek validation from others. We wait for people to recognize our progress before we allow ourselves to feel proud. But what if you didn't need anyone else's permission to be proud of how far you've come? What if you already are enough? Right now, exactly as you are, not because you've checked all the boxes, but because you're showing up, because you're trying, because you're aware that there's more meant for you, and you know that feeling, the one deep down that keeps tugging at your soul. The knowing that you're destined for more than just survival, that isn't fantasy. That's your truth calling. It's not asking you to hustle harder. It's asking you to trust deeper, to trust yourself, to trust your timing, to trust that even though the road ahead might be uncertain, you're guided always, even when it feels like you're alone, even when things don't make sense. Life has a strange way of breaking us open, just enough to let the light in, and sometimes we resist that. We want the transformation without the discomfort, but discomfort is often the doorway, the resistance you feel. That's just old programming, trying to keep you safe, but safe doesn't mean fulfilled, and comfort doesn't mean growth. At some point, you have to choose to let go of the story you've been telling yourself about why you can't, why it's not the right time, why you're not ready. That story is outdated. It's time for a new one. It's time to stop replaying the memories that hurt and start imagining the moments that heal. It's time to stop waiting for miracles and realize that you are one. That your presence here, listening to these words, means you're waking up to something greater, something that's been waiting for you all along. And when you say yes to that, when you open yourself to receiving, the universe responds in ways that defy logic. Don't be surprised if after today things begin to shift. Don't be surprised if you start noticing signs, opportunities, and synchronicity. They were always there, you just weren't tuned in, but now you are. And when you operate from a place of awareness, life stops feeling like something that's happening to you, and starts feeling like something that's happening through you. You become the creator, not just of dreams, but of reality. And that's where your power lives. You don't need to control every outcome. You just need to master your focus. Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. If you focus on lack, you create more of it. If you focus on gratitude, you expand abundance. If you focus on fear, it grows. But if you focus on possibility, doors open. Maybe not all at once. Maybe not in the way you expect. But they open. Always. And when you start believing in possibility, your energy changes. You walk differently. You speak differently. People notice, even if they can't explain it. They feel your shift, and you begin attracting what matches that frequency. That's not magic. That's alignment. That's the reward for trusting yourself when it would have been easier to doubt. It's the cosmic affirmation that you are on the right path, even if you can't see the whole staircase. Just the next step, so take that step. With courage, with belief, with the knowledge that you are guided, you are loved, and you are capable of creating a life beyond your wildest dreams, because you didn't just find this video, it found you, and it found you. Because you are ready. Are you ready to fully embrace this shift? What part of this message resonated most with you? Share it in the comments below. Let's continue this journey of awakening together.